Hello, everyone. This is Faye, and I sell Medicare plans. Today, we are doing the very first training for our Pre-AEP challenge. And I know that this is during the work day, so some of you may not be able to attend the live training. However, for those of you who did commit to the challenge, the training is being recorded and you'll have the link so that you can watch it. This is the Pre-AEP challenge. So training session 1 is all about helping you with the challenge. And just so that everyone understands, the challenge is to sell 100 cancer plans in 30 days. That's 100 cancer policies in 30 days. And this is a modest challenge. It's not a difficult challenge. It is very, very modest, even for those who are new to the industry. And you'll see why as we're going along. I want you to be aware also that every day that we have a training, and we're going to have 3 of them before you are let loose to get ready for September 1st, the start date. But every training, there is going to be a prize. So think about how many days you want to work this challenge. 5 days a week, 6 days a week, or 7 days a week. Everything that we do that hits our bottom line revolves around numbers. So the more days you are working, the more time you're putting in, the more cancer contracts you are able to write, because there are more people that you're able to be in front of in some way. There are more people that you will be able to touch, but you decide. It's all up to you. The only thing that the challenge requires is that at least you put in the time to get the sales that are necessary to meet the challenge. So let's start with the 5-day week. If you're going to work 5 days a week, you should plan in your calendar to spend about an hour every day. And during that hour, you're going to be communicating to those people who you are contacting to actually sell the cancer policies. You will be provided with scripts. You'll get sample texts. You'll get template emails that you can use to communicate with the people that you will need to be in front of. Now, we've talked about in the launch how cancer has no particular group of people to meet. Cancer has no particular age of people to meet. Cancer has just no preference in who it may attack. So therefore, you're able to actually think of people in all different age groups. So don't limit yourselves to a particular group of people. And we're going to go through some of the ways and some of the things that you will use to find those people. Today's training is about actually finding those customers. So think 5 days a week you're going to work, and you're going to get 5 sales a week. So think 5. 5 is your magic number. 5 days a week. Pick the days that you want. For some of you, Saturdays will work better than Mondays because of your schedules. You're going to work this around your regular business. I know that you're getting prepared for AEP. A lot of things are being thrown at you at the time, but this is so simple. You can do this. Just think 5 days a week, about an hour a day during those 5 days, and sell 5 sales a day. You got it made. So today we're focusing on who you're going to sell to, because obviously you can work 5 days a week, but if you don't see enough people and you don't communicate with enough people, you don't email enough people, you don't text enough people, you don't call enough people, you are not going to have 5 sales that day. So today we're going to focus on customers, because you've got to have customers to sell the product. The product is the Aetna Cancer Insurance Policy, and it's a policy, not a rider. It is an actual individual policy. Use your creativity to formulate the amount of policy that the customer needs. We talked about in the launch an average premium of $30. However, if you have a young person, that average premium for $10,000 or $20,000 may be $20. So you can either increase the amount to $30,000 or $40,000 or $50,000, or add someone else to the policy. So think in terms of where you want to be. Obviously, again, remember, everything that you do that hits your bottom line depends on numbers. So think about how you're going to accomplish this. You may sell 4 $10 policies rather than one $30 policy, but that's okay. It's the Aetna Cancer Insurance Policy. It's the lump sum payment when someone is diagnosed with cancer. And yes, these plans are underwritten, so somebody who is undergoing treatment for cancer cannot apply. And check the availability in your state, because some states you can only write a cancer policy with certain other policies, or if the individual has certain other policies. So check availability in your state. The Pre-AEP challenge has a purpose. That purpose is to help your customers and to help yourselves. So if you can think of 30 people that you can contact, and I'm not asking you to contact them right now. The only thing I want you to do is think about 30 people that you can contact. Everyone that has signed up for the challenge is going to get a worksheet where you can put your names, the telephone numbers, and preferably that would be cell phones so that you can text them, and the email addresses. That's all you need to know at the moment, because these people generally are going to be people you know where they live or what state they live in, so you'll know where you're working with them. But they do not have to be in your home state if you're licensed in other states. Remember that as well. So your first thing is you're going to try to fill this sheet with 30 names. Out of those 30 people, when you start to send and do your systematic and scheduled communications to them, statistics say you're going to probably reach about 15 on the first try. And of those 15, you should be able to sell 5. So 30, 15, and 5, that's what those numbers represent for you. So weekly, you need to be touching about 150 people. For those of you who have existing customers, start with your existing customers. If you have Medicare clients, if you have ACA clients, start with those people, because you already have their names, their date of birth, their gender, and their email address. So start with your existing book of business. For those of you who are new to insurance altogether and do not have existing customers, there are plenty of ways for you to come up with these names, these customers that you're going to contact. And I'm calling them customers because I am optimistic and confident that many of them will be customers. So here's some ideas of how you can gather names, cell phone numbers, and email addresses. Use your address book. Because this is not Medicare, MAPD, or PDP, you can ask anyone that you know to share their address book with you. And put those people in a group so that you can say, I actually got your name from Faye Horton, and she suggested that I contact you because I have a new product that I'm offering to Faye, and she thought that you might be interested in hearing about it. So anybody can give you the name, cell phone number, and email address. Get the cell phone, get in your cell phone, and start to go through it. I did this recently for something else that I was doing, and I realized there were people in there that I had not texted in a long, long time. Oh, I know what it was. I was, when I was introducing my latest book, I wanted to text people to let them know that it was now available on Amazon. And as I'm going through my contact list in my cell phone, I realized there were people that I had not spoken with or text or touched in such a long time, but they were still in my phone. And that meant that I knew who they were. So I knew exactly how to approach them to tell them. There were some that I knew would not be interested in AEP success because they're not in insurance. However, they know people who are in insurance. So use your cell phone, go through your cell phone. You probably can get 200-300 names from your cell phone. Your email list. As insurance agents, I don't know if you all are doing this, but for those of you who use a CRM, you should be grouping people into groups to use to send letters and automated messages by email. Those CRM emails gives the individual the option to opt in or opt out. And that's required when you're doing those emails. So if you have the CRM, use it. If you don't, let me know. I can tell you how you can get one that you can use free for a while. And then I think it's $15 or $19 a month. The other way that you can get names, get these prospect names, is through ambassadors. Now, I use ambassadors for a lot of things. And you will find in your business, when you really, really want to brand yourself and you want to get out there, when other people are talking about you, it means a lot. And it goes a little bit further. You may not see it right away, but when someone else is telling someone else who's telling someone else about you, eventually it gets back to you. So use the address book that you've been using for your Christmas card list. If anybody still does Christmas cards. If anybody has had a child that's graduated from school or college, or you've graduated from college recently and you did a graduation list among family and friends, use that list. Anybody in your family has gotten married recently, a daughter, a nephew, a niece. You have gotten married recently and you needed to do a wedding list. I mean, if you're thinking about getting names from a wedding list, you know that could quickly be 300 names. And you'll have to call it back, but don't call it back. Take all 300 of them. Any of these type events that have happened to you or somebody you know, your girlfriend's daughter got married. Ask them, can you use their wedding list? Your nephew recently graduated from college. He sent everybody in the family an invitation, even though they could not attend. Get the list. You get the message, I believe you understand so far. So in your cell phone, you can check in settings to find out the number of people that you have in your cell phone. So that's a start. Those are people that are in your cell phone. So those are people that you know. And it could be 5 and it could be 400. But check that number because that number is going to be important to you. Now, some of the people that are there, you're going to say, oh, I know they're not interested. Please don't do that. Don't make assumptions about anyone. If they're not interested, they will let you know. And you will not feel badly if they tell you, I'm not interested. The way you will use the scripts that you're going to get will be friendly. It will not be overbearing. It will not be pushy, and you won't be pushy. So you will very nicely send them the information. And if they're not interested, they'll let you know, then you'll know not to send them any more information. But please don't make assumptions up front that this one's not going to be interested because you never know. You do not know the shoes that other people walk in. So just send it to everybody and give them the information. You have received emails from different organizations, and sometimes those organizations like fraternities and sororities, if you're a member, will allow you to use the email list. So think of your church directory. In the church directory, some churches do the picture with the addresses and the telephone number and the email address every so often. If you have a church directory that's 2 years old, use it. If you are a member of any of the Greek organizations, use it. If you're a member of the Chamber of Commerce, use the list. If you're a member of the PTA, you're in a golfing organization, you're in a ceramics group, you're in any kind of club or organization, this is where you're going to find these people. These are people that you have not thought about if you're selling primarily Medicare. These are people you didn't think about maybe if you're selling primarily ACA health insurance. But these are all people who could be affected or know someone who could be affected by cancer. Your ambassadors, what you're going to do with ambassadors is you're just going to ask 10 people to give you 15 names with the telephone numbers and the emails. So 10 people you know. There are people who are so connected in the community, every time you look up, you see their names. There's some people who are so well connected in the church that they're in 4 different auxiliaries and 4 different ministries within the church. They know 15 people. Trust me. Ask 10 people to give you 15 names. That's just a start. Once you get those 10 people to give you 15 names and telephone numbers and emails, then you can ask 10 more. And don't forget that any of the people that you do communicate with, you're always going to ask them, who do they know? Unless when you say hello, they hang up on you, the last thing that you're going to say to them, whether they are amenable to your conversation or not, is, I so appreciate your answering my call. Do you know anyone who might need to have this information? And let them know that 1 in 3 women are diagnosed with some kind of cancer in their lifetime, and 1 in 2 men. So if most of your clients and most of the names you're getting are men, great, go for it. I put the number 300 up here because you started out with 150 that you're going to put together. But if you asked each one of them for a name, a referral, now you got 300 names. So this is the multiplicity of actual prospecting. So any of these methods will work, and you guys can all do it. It is not that difficult. This is something that you can do. Here's your first assignment. First assignment is to get excited. Get excited about what you're going to do. And I know that we're 2 weeks out, but getting excited about it now will prepare you to be ready for September 1st. September 1st is going to be a big kickoff. Get your list together, start getting your list together, get fired up about it, start thinking in your head. And I'm not going to put any more on you today in today's training. Just get fired up and get your list going. Get everyone that you can possibly think of to help you, and get ready to win prizes. This actually is where I'm going to pause, and no, I think I'll do the prize at the end. I'll do the prize at the end because then I'll show my screen. Okay, thanks. Internet folks here to get me back online. Thanks. Okay, Linda, I guess, is leaving because she's got to get her internet back online so she can pick up on the recording. Okay, so moving along, we are talking about the challenge. Everybody understands what the challenge is. You're meeting a customer's need, you're meeting the agent's need. And so how are you going to introduce the product is going to be the next step. The first step is to get a full list of people that you can introduce the product to. And the next step is how to introduce the product. We're not going to go into introducing the product in depth in this training, but our next training, we will. Because to introduce the product, you're going to use text messages, you're going to use emails, and you're going to use phone calls. You're going to use all of these things that are not going to cost you postage, not going to cost you travel time, not going to cost you gas. We're using text messages, emails, and phone calls, okay? It's a proven system of how you're going to introduce the product. You'll be introducing it with a brochure and a flyer, and you will do the touches using the text messages, the emails, and the phone calls. You will cover the customer's need and cover your need. Those are the two things that are very, very important. And the challenge starts September 1st. Training number 2 will be on Thursday, August 19th, which is 2 days from now at 2:30 p.m. again. And that one will be recorded as well. So if you miss it, it's okay. You can go back and you have time between now and September 1st to catch up. On the next meeting, training on Thursday, we're going to recap where you are with your list. verify availability in your state, and use the multiplication factors that we've talked about. So you get some scripts, you'll get some prepared text messages, you'll get sample emails, and you'll get the step-by-step process that you're going to use to communicate to the customers the list that you're making today. Schedule yourself, schedule your timing so that you know what hour in the day you're going to work, when you're going to be able to make your phone calls, if you're going to get up early in the morning and send out all your emails or your texts, however you're going to do that. This again, I wanted to show you just to refresh your memory in what this means for you. And 100 is the challenge, but you can certainly bust through that challenge at any time. So 100 plans, average monthly premium $30 is $3,000 in premium monthly. 30% of that monthly, if your tier commission is at 30%, that means you're getting $900 a month. If it's 35%, it's $1,050, and if it's 40%, it's $1,200 per month, because you're getting your commissions as earned. Some of you may have your commissions set up as advances, and that would be sent to you differently. You'll get a larger lump sum, and then in the last 3 months of the annual period, you'll be getting it as earned. Weekly check-ins we will have, and we'll have prizes for the very highest number of sales on September 30th. So listen and look for that. In just a moment, I'm going to give out the prize for today. This is the link to commit to the challenge. If you know people who have not committed to the challenge already, it's bit.ly/2 cancer challenge. And for those of you who need the complete workbook on AEP success, the book is available on Amazon. This is the link to get that book. Are there any questions at this point?
No.
No questions?
No
okay,
questions.
I'm going to award the prize for today. And the prize for today is to kick someone off with 100 names and telephone numbers in their zip code. So the prize today goes to the first person to sign on today, and that was Miss Nikita. So Miss Nikita, you will get 100 names and telephone numbers for your success in the challenge. You'll just need to send to me which zip code you prefer to use. Okay? All right. So yes, thank you all. I'm sorry. Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you all for being here. We will have prizes at each training. And remember, the next training is Thursday of this week at 2:30. Look forward to seeing you all then. Thank you all again for coming. Let me